Welcome to the Second Season Podcast, a podcast for athletes, entrepreneurs, and families chasing legacy. I'm Mason.
And I'm Danny. And today we're going to get a little bit vulnerable and talk really about why we started this platform.
Yeah, amen. And on that note, you know, the vulnerable side of life in general is part of the bond that me and you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And something that I really think is powerful and that I would like to talk about is what I refer to as the dark side of the beast. And what I mean by that is sometimes who you have to be, right, to overcome the adversity that you're going through. And if you're an ex-athlete, I want you to think back to, has there ever been a time where your parents are telling you, play mad, right?
Yeah.
Like get angry, go out there and play mad.
Yeah. Yep.
And then guess what? You actually play better when you're mad, right? Because that's the dark side of the beast that comes out, right? A little bit of adversity, a little bit of self-doubt, a little bit of fear. You just put your head down, you get angry, and then you go and play.
Yep.
And that's what's crazy about sports is that that's really the first time in my life that I experienced that side of the beast. But then what you realize is as life happens, as life goes on, the main thing that happens is things start happening, right?
Yeah.
Adversity wise.
Yeah.
So you transition with that dark side of the beast of like how you get through these little moments in the past through sports to getting through these big moments in life.
Dude, that's why we started this.
Yep.
I mean, we both wanted to get a little bit vulnerable and build a platform. And I think when you're willing to get a little bit vulnerable, that's where your true character really shines and where you really grow.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I've been in the same boat for sure. I mean, I was very fortunate growing up. Like I grew up in, I'd say upper class family, and I was very fortunate. Like I pretty much had what I needed. I had a car when I was 16. Like we had a great community. I mean, my dad was a doctor, so I was very fortunate, kind of had what we needed. But I really didn't get my really true case of I didn't really have any serious problems until I was 8th grade, transitioning into my freshman year, and my mom was diagnosed with ALS. And so background on my parents, both my parents played sports in college, both went to Grand Valley. My mom was an All-American, actually. She played basketball and she ran track. She was in hurdles. Crazy, really, really good athlete. She's in the Hall of Fame there. So when she was diagnosed with ALS, going into my freshman year, I mean, this is really in my basketball career where I was getting put on the map.
Yep.
And so I think when you're young, like I kind of had to grow up a little bit quicker than I was supposed to, but with that came more responsibility, and I learned a lot more about myself, and I wasn't afraid to put myself out there because I didn't know how much time we were going to have.
Yep.
So I was willing to get vulnerable then. That was kind of the first real taste that I had, that helped mold me to who I am today. So,
man, I think about the 8th grade you, and bro, I'm just so sorry, bro, that you went through that, bro. That's crazy. And like when you were going through that, like what was basketball for you? Did you resent it? Because it was something, or was it your outlet?
It was a little bit of my outlet. Like I have a younger sister too, and our personalities are very different.
Yep.
She's probably the strongest person I've ever met. And for her, it was a little bit easier to not necessarily be as involved with what my mom was going through. It was easier for her to kind of shy away from it. I wanted to be as involved as possible. Like
right.
when she couldn't use her arms anymore, like I was like the one brushing her teeth. Like I was in high school. Like most high schoolers didn't have to go through stuff like that. So basketball was a little bit of an outlet for me. But I mean, I went to a private Catholic school, like all of my elementary and middle school. Like we had 9 graduating kids in my 8th grade class. I was dunking in 8th grade, for real. I was 6'4" in 8th grade. Bro. So like that was like kind of one of my big outlets for me was definitely sports. And I think our parents, now that this is like the first time I'm realizing this, but I think that's kind of why our parents pushed us to play multiple sports, is to keep us busy and have us, allow us to find some purpose as an entire family. We were kind of navigating this, unforeseen future and uncharted waters. So it was definitely an outlet.
Yeah, well, it's just funny because when you think back on what are the greatest times of your life, it's always the simplest moments with your parents of like at some game where you walk up to them afterwards and it's like you made them proud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I'm a big deer hunter. So like I love deer camp. I always say it's one of my favorite holidays in the entire year. The older that I get, the more I love deer camp because I sit in the blind with my dad for 2 days straight.
Yep.
2 days.
Yep.
And we get to talk about life and sports and politics and business and family and friends. And like that's the most time that I get to spend with him out of anywhere in the entire year. And it's like my favorite time. As I grow older and get emotional about it. But like, that's it's important.
I remember, both of my mom and dad, when I was I think junior in high school, my dad got diagnosed with cancer, and luckily, it, ended up not being too serious, and he ended up still being able to watch us hoop sometime and recovered. But then when I was in my 20s, my mom had a nasty cancer battle, and I'm so grateful that here I am at 34 and I have them both still in my life, bro. Which is why I get emotional when you talk about your mom, because it kills me that the 8th, 9th grade you lost your mom, bro. So
yes, so she got diagnosed with ALS July 3rd, 2014. Actually, that's this right here. I got a tattoo right here. July 3rd, 2014. It was the day that I found out that she was diagnosed. And it was also her birthday, which was crazy, dude. I remember that day. I'll never forget that day. We were driving to Bay Harbor. So up north, I'm from Petoskey. And in Bay Harbor, they always do fireworks the day before. And we were passing Blackbird Road. Like, I still remember this. Like, we were passing Blackbird Road, and I was sitting behind the passenger seat. My sister was sitting next to me. My dad was driving, and my mom was in the passenger seat. And like, that's when they like told me that she was diagnosed with ALS. So that's why I got this. So that's why I got this tattoo right here. And she actually, so she was with us all the way through high school, and she passed away June 17th, 2018, like right after I graduated high school. And so one of the big reasons why I committed to Northwood University in Midland, which was in the GLIAC at the time, was I was only an hour and 45, like 2 hours from home. Yep. So I was hoping that when I committed earlier in high school that she was going to be able to get to some of our games.
Yeah. The mind is way more powerful than what you think, and that is on reflecting and keeping you in perspective. Like we always say, like when adversity hits, like that's when you want to go, like, chase your dreams. Like, I'm gonna make something of my life. I remember in high school when one of our boys died. My brother Z's really good friend who always was really good to me, and actually it was early college, but I remember like saying, like, I gotta capitalize on my life. Like it really hits home when it hits home close to you, and in your case, inside your home, right? But with that also being said, it's easy to get into life and have life happen, and then you kind of get numb to it. But the people who stay in that perspective moment of, I got one chance at this, bro. I'm going to get everything I got. I'm going to make our moms proud. You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, 100%.
We're going to show out for our family. We're going to do this. And like, it's the moments, the serious, hard moments that put you in that mindset. And then the mind, you have to have a strong enough mind to then stay in that, where you're not staying in it being sad, but you're staying in it being aware of the gift that we have, right?
Dude, just being able to wake up every day is the greatest blessing. And I think in our society, people get so hung up on their 8:30 meeting or 9 o'clock meeting, they forget how grateful they are just to be here. Like, you really are. Like, we're very, all of us listening to this, like, we're very grateful just to be here, just to live in the moment.
Amen. So, and as you get older, harder things unfortunately continue to happen. Yeah. And you know what I learned from maybe having to grow up a little bit too quick in high school? I'm fortunate. I have all 4 of my grandparents. I still got all 4 of them. That's insane.
And they're all in their 80s. I make a conscious effort to call my grandparents.
Yep.
Because I know one day I'm not going to be able to.
Yep.
So like, if you got if you're listening to this and you've got your dad or you haven't talked to them in a while, like just give them a phone call.
Yep.
Like just call them, just tell them you love them. Like,
Yep. Amen, bro.
So
I was learning from this guy out in San Diego, super successful businessman, multi-millionaire. And he's got like his 3 non-negotiables. And one of them is talking to his kids, but also it's calling his mom and letting her know that he's all good. And like, I think of my mom and like, she knows how hard I run and I'm all over the place, but it's always a reminder to be like, hey, Ma, hey, I can't talk much, but I just want you to know I'm good. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm having a blast. I'm good. And I love you. Right. Like I saw Jordan Peterson, famous speaker and author.
Yeah.
He had like really put it in perspective of like, think how old your parents are. How many times a year do you see them right now? So you're telling me that like, you're not willing to just like, kind of like make that extra effort when you know that it could only be 100 more times.
Yeah.
Like, and that really hits, bro.
Yeah. If you break it down as like, okay, I'm only going to see my parents 5 times a year. Like you think you've got more time. You think you have more time in a year than you do, but it's like, okay, if, you only see your parents on holidays, call it 5 times a year, like, however old you are, like calculate that. Like that's, that's a number, like that's a digit.
Yeah. And that hits hard. And I think it awakes a lot of people, a lot of our friends of why they choose this entrepreneurship journey. Because once you get it going, and it's not easy in the beginning. I remember telling my brother Z, I said, bro, I'm going to give the goods away to everybody for free for 10 years and just see where we're at in a decade. Because at that point, if we've given with no expectation back, there's nothing that could stop us. Like whatever we're doing at that time, whatever service, whatever we're in, we'll have a big enough platform. Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take 10 years, but it did take 3-4 years
it takes
of
time.
building, giving everything you have, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
The best part about being your own entrepreneur, I should back up. I think a lot of people want to get into business to run their own schedule. Dude, you're working more than 9 to 5 when you start your own business. Like people need to understand that. I think a lot of people do understand that. Like you're putting in 12-hour shifts. But on the flip side, the beauty of owning your own business is you can put decades into weeks.
Amen.
You can put decades, and I've heard that before. I don't know if it was on Instagram or what, but I've heard that before where you just have to get irons in the fire and you have to create opportunity, and one deal, one person you meet, one decision can change your life and build your family's legacy forever.
Well, even in the grind of the build, like a lot of you listening, like you're building your business right now, but even in the grind, part of the give back to yourself is that you prioritize the things that fill you up. And if you have the opportunity to see your mom and dad, if you have the opportunity to show up for your family, that will fill you up more than anything.
Yeah.
That will fill you up more than anything. And that all circles back to taking risk, figure out ways of financial freedom so you can prioritize those things. You can prioritize those things and you can show up.
Yeah. Dude, this is actually a perfect time to talk about it. But I hired a business coach. This is my first business coach I ever hired. This is probably 3 months ago. And the one thing that she told me, because I'm a little bit like you, like I got my hands in all these different things. Like I'm running 1,000,000 miles an hour and I feel like I always need to physically be doing the next thing. She said, observation is an action. Thinking is an action. Listening is an action. So I think it's super important for people to understand, like you physically don't have to be running 1,000,000 miles an hour. Like it's okay to reflect. Like you need to reflect. And that's
figure out what you can do to get you to reflect, right? Is that being still?
Yeah, for me, it's journaling. Yeah. Like I don't journal every day, but like I was flying back from Arizona yesterday, and I wrote down some things that were important to me that I had on my mind. So I think it's important that like you really sit down, and I don't know if that's calling someone or talking to your sister or whoever, but I think people need to sometimes take a step back and think. And observe.
What's so funny is like I've tried a lot of different stuff to do exactly what you just said because I'm wound, like I'm known for like my energy, right? Like it's just how I am.
Yeah.
But what's so crazy is that in a pickup basketball game, although I'm moving fast, bro, my mind, like I have like my best thoughts. I'm in my subconscious. I'm not worried about who I haven't called back or whatever that may be. Like I'm just completely free. And in that moment, although my body's moving fast, my mind is still.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm trying to instill that in my kids right now. And that's, you know, the school that they go to, their motto is like, be still.
Yeah.
And know.
Dude, your story is super inspirational just from the aspect of like where you came from in Lansing.
Yeah.
And like what you've built for yourself. And I mean, there are no handouts, right? Like you've created the life that you've wanted to live.
Yeah. Well, this city's a big blessing because when you're around a good, you know, good group of people and people that like you align with, if you believe in something, if you're a good person, if you are going after something for the greater good to help somebody, you will get support.
Yeah. Yeah.
You will get support because every single person wants to see other good people win.
Dude, we call it on the real estate agent side, right? We're always competing for sell by owner listings or relationships. Like we call it co-opetition. Like, dude, it's the best part. One of the best parts of our business is like, as a real estate agent, I love seeing other people I know in my industry get listings and close deals and provide value to clients. Like there is nothing more fulfilling. Like I love shouting out all my competition, dude, because it's not easy. Like we're all in the field together. Like it's not easy, dude.
And there's enough for us all. And it's the same exact reason why. So like, you know, growing up in Lansing, and there's a couple friends or, you know, friends of friends, people that I knew that now I see are on this entrepreneurship journey. Some of them doing what I'm doing too.
Yeah.
And when I see them, bro, like I'm like trying to like be their number one cheerleader, bro.
Hell yeah.
Because I love seeing that.
Yeah.
Right. And I just love seeing somebody like push themselves and like be interested in who they can be.
Mm-hmm.
Like that journey of staying interested of like, who can I be? Who can I impact? And if you don't know what to do, just figure out a way to help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
If you can help somebody, that's checkbox number one. And what'd you say, episode 1? It's figure out what somebody needs and fill the void.
Fill the void.
Fill the void, right? But it starts with figuring out ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? And adversity is inevitable. You know, deep, hard adversity, like what you went through losing your mom, you know, real adversity.
Dude,
like,
and something that she always told me too, that I'm hoping people can relate to is like, we're emotional creatures.
Yep.
Like it's okay to get emotional. Like I know people put up a big facade.
Yep.
They always have, but there's always going to be that, especially on social media. Like beauty of social media is there's a massive platform for all of us to voice our opinions, which I think is awesome. Like I think there's a lot, like I learn a lot from other people. But it's cool. It's okay to get emotional. Like we're emotional creatures. So,
well, they say, hey, you wear your, you know, emotions on your sleeve or whatever. Like you can see it on your face, but it's just because you believe.
Yeah, it means you care
in what you're doing.
Dude, it means you care. Like 100%. If you're emotional, like you're invested. Like 100%. You know that you're invested in whatever you're trying to accomplish.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And then you go through like every single person listening to this, us included, there's going to be the hard, deep adversity you go through, but maintaining that perspective, it allows the small, petty shit to not stand a chance, bro. Yeah. And this is what I talk about in the gym. Noah and I just made this video. We were literally walking outside and I talked about like, hey man, I get asked a lot by young professionals, like, what's your number one advice for me? And although I have different advice and it's like differs on who I'm talking to, like of what they're interested in, that main common theme is wake up super early and go to the damn gym. And it seems silly, but it's like I kick my ass in the morning, and then when I leave, nobody else stands a chance.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not getting broke down by something petty. I already broke myself down.
Yeah. Dude, it is really rare for someone's business to degress or go backwards when you're working on your personal development.
Yeah, it won't.
It's not going backwards.
Yeah, it won't. If there's one common denominator on successful people, this is why if you go to a conference, you spend money and you go somewhere.
Gym early.
Bro, guess who's there?
Yeah, you were telling
killers.
We were talking about this dude. Yeah.
Like, bro, like you're on the treadmill or the stair climber next to somebody you don't even know who they are, and then later in the day they're speaking and you find out they're a billionaire.
Yeah, they ran 3 miles that morning.
Bro, exactly. And that's the common denominator of success for them.
It's so funny. I'll share this too because I think it's kind of funny. But so when I rarely, so I'll set an alarm in the morning, but I have an alarm constantly every night at 9 o'clock that goes off. That's my I need to get myself like ready for bed. And Sarah, dude, she gets so mad at me. She wants to watch another episode of Selling Sunset or whatever. But I'm like, we got to prioritize like our peace and what we want to do tomorrow.
Yep.
So You know, I set my alarm at nighttime.
Yeah. Well, that's a good discipline with you. I remember as we plot and scheme, you know, for the podcast and business stuff, and it's typically at night once I get the kids to sleep. But after our 8:30 calls, bro, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I can't stay up any longer.
Yeah.
I'm an old soul, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Because I wake up early to try to get after
what are
it.
you going to do? What are you going to do productive after 8 o'clock other than probably spend some time with your wife or with your family?
Yeah. And take that a step further if you're young. And my father used to tell me this, and trust me, I did not believe him. But nothing good happens after midnight.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens after midnight. This is coming from a city slicker who lived his life after midnight with my brother and our friends group on campus at Michigan State, like for a long time, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And I always look back like, man, my dad was right, bro. My dad was right. And then as you get older too, like it's almost like nothing good happens after 10 o'clock for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not productive. Anyways, I need to just be in bed, gearing up for the next day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, talking a little bit more about this emotional, like, intelligence or being vulnerable or being just, like, self-aware.
Push yourself, man.
It allows you to not get so upset for things that used to probably kill you. And, like, for me, as I was building my business, let me give you an example. As I was building my business, I was, you know, if I lost a deal, especially a big deal, like I'm taking it so personally of like, what did I do? Like, how did I mess this up or whatever that may be? There's no way that if you're building your business and if your family's paycheck depends on that, you know, whether you're succeeding or not, for it to not be personal, right?
Yeah.
But now that it's built and now that I'm grateful for, you know, the community that I'm able to serve, what I have found is that the little adversity moments where you lose a deal or something out of your control happens that used to stand a chance to get to you, bro, stands no chance.
Yeah, you don't even wear it.
It doesn't mean you don't care. It's just that you're aware enough that this is part of the game. And that's part of being in tune with yourself, right?
It is so hard to fail if you don't quit.
Yep.
Can't.
Yep.
You got to stay the course.
Yep. A lot of the pro coaches that, you know, coach at Microsoft or speak to Microsoft or these pro athletes or whatever, they literally just talk about how they just have never stopped trying.
Just repetitions.
You know, never stopped trying. It's just like the game is not over ever. It's just if you stopped, it's because you ran out of time, but then you got to keep going. Right?
For sure.
So,
yeah.
Well, I hope this hits and I hope that you found this valuable. Every episode, we're having real talk about family, faith, financial freedom, all through the lens of an ex-athlete. If this hits home, please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and tune in for the next episode.
Your second season starts now.